If you are thinking of moving to Seattle or Boston, this video is for you. Let's go! Seattle and Boston are 3,000 miles apart on opposite coasts of America. They are very different from each other, but also very similar. When people consider where to move, they frequently think of these two cities because they have one thing in common: plenty of jobs. So I wanted to explore what is similar, what is different, and which one is a better city to move to. My name is Dune. I'm a real estate agent in Boston. If you are thinking of buying or selling in Boston area or even in Seattle, let me know. I would love to help you. Seattle is a much larger city in both the population and the land area. Seattle's 2020 population was 737,000 and Boston's was 675,000. By population, they are 18th and 24th in US. Population density, though, is much higher in Boston. Actually, if you take the metro areas, Greater Boston is the fourth most densely populated region in the United States. Seattle has higher sales tax but no income tax. Household income is much higher in Seattle. You know, all those statistics are great, but you're not moving to a city based on numbers, right? You need to have the feel of the city. Residents of both cities complain about the bad weather and the 9-month-long winters. In Seattle, it is all about the never-ending drizzling rain and gray skies. And in Boston, the never-ending cold and snowstorms. I guess you have to choose your poison. The summers in Seattle are dry, very comfortable and beautiful. Forest fires are common here in the summer, but Boston weather is hot and humid in the summer and cold and snowy in the winter. During the year, Seattle temperatures go from 77 in the summer to 38 in the winter, and Boston's 82 and 24. Boston has more extremes, and Seattle weather is more temperate. In recent years, though, Seattle has gotten much hotter, and Boston winters have gotten much warmer. When it comes to precipitation in the form of rain or snow, Seattle is more extreme, and Boston is more temperate. On average, there are 200 sunny days per year in Boston and 152 in Seattle. If you are the type that loves to cozy up to a fireplace, then both Seattle and Boston might be your place. If you need sun to feel happy and your moods are affected by gray, cloudy skies, then Boston is better for you. Not ideal, but better. I asked my client Alina, who moved from Seattle to Boston, what she thought about the Seattle weather.
A rainy winter, a rainy fall, and a rainy spring.
Boston snow doesn't start until January, and you get really long and gorgeous fall season. For me personally, I can deal with snow and cold if it's sunny. I can't take endless gray days, so I give Boston a point for that. People are usually in Massachusetts and in Seattle, both are very down-to-earth people. Vanity and showing off is not really big in those two cities. When it comes to driving, Seattle people are very calm, patient. They give each other space, to pass, sometimes even timid. But when it comes to Massachusetts drivers, Boston drivers are very aggressive and they honk if you are late by a second going on the green light. They show their fingers, certain digits. They are very impatient. I give Seattle 1 point because I prefer patience and calm to rudeness, even though, have to say, the rude behavior is very rare in Boston, in my experience. Unless you're driving. Public transportation in Seattle is not as extensive as in Boston. Boston is home to America's first subway system, and Boston Transit is considered the third best in the US after San Francisco and New York City. Both Seattle and Boston are extremely walkable and bikeable for an American city. You can live without a car unless you live in outer areas of these two cities. And a lot of people use the car only if they need to get out of the city. In both cities. Here are some scores from walkscore.com. Boston is ranked number 3rd most walkable city in US after San Francisco and New York City. I give Boston a point for ease of getting around. Less than an hour from downtown, residents of Seattle escape for the day or the weekend to wineries, ski resorts, and hiking trails. They love kayaking, sailing, skiing, snowboarding, and taking a ferry to an island. Seattle is ringed by the Olympic and Cascade Mountains and surrounded by lakes, which creates breathtaking views. The most notable mountain, Mount Rainier, is about 2 hours' drive from Seattle. All those outdoor activities are also loved in Boston. The city of Boston has the ocean views, but no mountain views. Instead, Boston has the historic and beautiful architecture. Every corner is connected to some major historical event. When craving some nature, Bostonians frequently drive an hour to New Hampshire or 2 hours to Vermont and do some hiking or skiing in the mountains there. Both cities have great beaches. Both Boston and Seattle are very green thanks to all that precipitation. During fall, Bostonians drive to New Hampshire, Vermont, or Maine to enjoy the colorful New England foliage. For the beauty of nature, Seattle gets a point. Yeah, Alina, what do you think about the location of Seattle and Boston?
It's very close from here to drive to lots of big cities where we can spend the weekend and have this city vacation experience that was a little bit lacking for us in Washington State.
Flights to Europe are also much cheaper and shorter from Boston than from Seattle. It's about 6 hours to Europe from Boston. There are many bars and restaurants, great public parks, theaters and concerts in both cities. Boston has a richer nightlife, more options and more varied activities. That's probably because Boston's median age is 32 compared to Seattle's 35. Boston's population is growing younger as nearly 1/3 of its residents are 20 to 35 years old, which is younger than most other major cities in the country. Both Seattle and Boston have a strong music and art culture. Sports are a major part of both cities' culture. It's a lot of fun to cheer for your team. Both Seattle and Boston have Major League Baseball team, a Major League Soccer team, NFL, and NHL teams. Sports are a major part of Boston. However, residents of both Seattle and Boston can get lazy in the winter. It is easy to become a hermit and not go out because of the weather. I give Boston a point for entertainment and location. Seattle is known as one of the nation's tech capitals. People are relocating to Seattle for jobs at tech giants like Amazon and Microsoft. Boston is known as one of the finance and biotech capitals. Fidelity Investments solidified Boston's spot in the top 30 most economically powerful cities in the world. Healthcare professionals and those working in biotech field often relocate to Boston. According to livingcost.org, Boston cost of living is 6% higher than Seattle's. According to bestplaces.net, Boston is 8.6% cheaper than Seattle. And according to Forbes.com, the cost of living in both cities is exactly the same. It is very confusing. I want to know, what do you think about that? I'm thinking for the sake of this video, let's consider the cost of living the same. What about income? Census Bureau data shows the median household income for the Seattle metro area hit a record high in 2021 at $101,700. That's up from $94,000 in 2019, an 8.2% increase. For some perspective on how fast Seattle area's affluence is growing, consider that in 2010, Seattle was only ranked 11th. Seattle is ahead of Boston when it comes to income and income growth. 8.2% growth in Seattle compared to Boston's 6.7%. We have to mention real estate, since you are on a real estate channel after all. I took all the numbers as of September 2022 from National Association of Realtors. The median home sold price was $800,000 in Seattle. The median home sold price in Boston was $725,000. The sale to list price ratio in Boston was 98.55%. That means that homes in Boston on average sold for 1.45% below asking price. Sale to list price ratio in Seattle was 100%. There are 23 neighborhoods in Boston. The most expensive neighborhood is Beacon Hill, with a median listing price of $1.9 million. There are 127 neighborhoods in Seattle. North Queen Anne has a median listing home price of $1.3 million, making it the most expensive neighborhood in Seattle. So even though the cost of living is pretty comparable, Seattleites earn more money and Seattle's income growth is larger, which might mean that if it continues on this trajectory, Seattle is going to overpass Boston by a lot. Here is a one-bedroom, one-bath penthouse apartment in Back Bay neighborhood of Boston, priced at $1 million, one of the more affordable options. Overall, Seattle is the winner. But I want to know what you think. Of course, the goal of this video is not to tell you which city is better, but to give you enough information so you can make an informed decision or start your research. And if you are thinking of buying or selling in Boston or Seattle, reach out to me. You can schedule a virtual consultation. My contact information is in the description, and watch my video comparing Boston to Philadelphia and New York City.